Welcome to Module 1, where we are going to be talking about Piaget and stages of development and Vygotsky's zone of proximal development. I am so happy that y'all have joined us, and this video is just to walk us through things that you can be expecting as you sit through the class each week. So I'm going to start right here, where this Module 1 overview. And you can see some of the things that we're going to be talking about each week will be up in paragraph form in the very beginning, and a lot of times there'll be a visual so we can see our lovely Piaget and Vygotsky right here, just so you can know what they're looking like. But this week we are really going to be diving into Piaget's ideas. This is Piaget right here. His ideas of the stages of student development and how they progress, and then Vygotsky right here, his zone of proximal development and how that applies to us as strong educators in the classroom. Right here you can see our module objectives, so you know exactly why we are learning what and how it applies to overall course objectives. And our module activities, you can see that we're going to read some things, view some module lecture materials. We're going to participate in a debate. We are going to personally reflect, where you just submit it to me and I can see your thinking. And then we are going to take that unit that you just uploaded and we are going to begin to apply what we've learned in each module and edit and change that unit each week for the next 6 weeks to create a unit that really goes into all these different theories that we're going to be discussing. So let's jump to our next thing here. And when I push next, I want you guys to see this right here. When I push next, it just moves me down to the next little part of our module. So we were here and I pushed next and it was going to bump me over to these lecture materials for Module 1. You are going to first read a text about Piaget and Vygotsky's life. And both of these texts are really important because it tells us more about who they were as people. And that is important to understand how they're thinking about children, about how they were raised. What part of the world were they raised in? What was their background and their home life like? Academically, what were their interests? Professionally, what did they get into? To me, it's always made a lot more sense if I understood the person before I understood their theories. And so that's what those two links up there are for. Next, we're going to watch some learning videos that describe their theories a little bit more. So we can see this video is about Piaget's theory of cognitive development. And then we can see Piaget's stages of development in real life with real children, how it's really playing out. And then we can see right here is a brief little presentation about zone of proximal development, and more about Vygotsky right here and how his theory of development really has that ZPD piece in it right there. Here are additional lecture materials if you would like to read a little bit more. Those are available for you guys. I'm going to push next to go to our first reading reflection assignment. So for this, you're going to type up a one-page single-spaced paper. It can be longer if you want to, but roughly that length. And you're going to reflect on how Vygotsky and Piaget's theories make more sense when we know the historical context of these two men. And I want you just to kind of reflect on that. Reflect on what was the world like when they were growing up. What do we know about the home life and family of these two men? What did they pursue in their studies? What type of professionals did they become? And then how do these things help us to understand their thinking a little more clearly? You're going to submit that up on Canvas by Sunday at midnight. If you would like to see how you're going to be graded, here is a rubric of that. And then our next job in this module is our online discussion. Now, I really like to have online discussions because it gives us the opportunity to learn from our peers. We can learn a lot through reading and through watching our lecture materials through videos, but sometimes the best way we can learn is through personal experiences of friends or coworkers or peers. And so that's what this is going to allow us to do, is really test our knowledge and our understanding of what we understand about a certain topic. Specifically this week is, does development really occur in stages? And then also see what other people are thinking. I have been taught so many lessons by peers when they disagree with me, and I can see, oh, that's a different way of thinking. I need to think about that a little bit more. Or even by students, that they have presented material in a different way and it's changed my thoughts on a certain topic before. And so that's the purpose of this. It's not really who's right or who's wrong. It's just to pose a purposeful, educated discussion. So our debate topic this week is, does development really occur in stages? And so it talks about here in this little paragraph that not everyone agrees that development occurs this way. And then you have two sides that you can side with. And they are there. What you're going to do is you're going to say, I side with side one. And you are going to reflect back on your readings and the videos that we watched. And you're going to cite some of those resources to really ground your thinking in. You're going to write that up in about a paragraph, and you're going to post that to this discussion right here by hitting reply. And that needs to be done by this first week on Wednesday by midnight. And then by Sunday of midnight this week, you're going to respond to two other classmates' posts. Simply things that you found intriguing, things that you agree with, things that you disagree with. All of that's going to happen by Sunday at midnight. If you would like to know how this is going to be graded, by clicking right here, you can look at a rubric, but that is worth 5 points, 3 of them for your initial discussion post and 2 for your 2 comments following that. Our last thing that we're going to do each week is you're going to reflect on the things that the module has covered and then use that to change your unit. So this is called unit application discussion. How have you taken the idea of ZPD and the socio-emotional development and applied that to the unit that you posted earlier in the week or even late last week? And so what you're going to do is you're going to go into your unit and you're going to look through there and say, okay, how can I implement my new understanding of ZPD? How can I implement that in my lesson to show I understand that concept? And then go back through your unit. How can you use your understanding of socio-emotional development and apply that in your unit? Make the changes of your unit, and you're going to do that 6 more times throughout this session, this class session, until at the end you have a unit that has been modified several different times to show your in-depth understanding of students as learners. So this week, you're just going to make these 2 quick little changes, and then you're going to write a paragraph and post it by hitting this button right here. You're going to post it by Friday of this first week. And then over the course of the weekend, you're going to come back and you're going to read 2 of your classmates' posts and just discuss with them. This was a really great idea. I have a question about this. Have you thought about that? And just engage in that meaningful conversation. If you would like to know what a rubric would look like on how I'm grading on this, again, it's up here. This is worth 10 possible points. And then that is it for the week. Most of our weeks will be set up very much like this. We have our reflection, we have our debate, and we have our unit application. So again, this is you're submitting to me a 1-page single space type paper. This, you make your initial post by Wednesday and then comment on 2 people by Sunday at midnight. And this, you are telling us, your class, how you're going to apply these newfound thoughts by Friday at midnight. And then you're going to comment on 2 other people over the weekend by Sunday at midnight. I'm really looking forward to this course and learning from you guys, as hopefully we can learn together. If you have any questions at all, it doesn't matter what they are, please email me and I will get back to you promptly.